Yes, I know that's related. Ugh. Okay. All right. Hello. Let's get this in. Running like 3 seconds, minutes, something behind. All right. Let's see what we got tonight. Hello. All right. Get where I can see y'all's question. Oh, that's good. Okay. Perfect. Okay. There we go. Hello. Hello. Yeah. Birdie, I'm not happy about that because I want to be where snow is. I, believe it or not, like cold weather for 5 minutes. And then, so hello, everyone. Okay. Hope everyone's doing good. Gonna have a little fun tonight. Got some announcements, some fun stuff. And yeah, oh, let me grab move it. Oh, I have been de I'm not saying stashing. I don't like that word. Um, I've been decluttering my room because soon I'm moving into a different room. So I have been consolidating and I don't know where I put anything. I was going to grab my bunny from the other week. Oh, is it here? A lot of things I just stick down here so I can grab them quickly. No, I don't know. I don't see where my bunny is. Because I wanted to talk about that. Give me just a second. Let me just veer around. Everything? Everything? No, that's a bummer. I'll just pull up a picture. Okay. So much for being organized. No, the new room will be way more organized. It'll look better. I think I finally picked out a paint color, maybe. I picked it up to a sample today to see if I'm gonna like it. So, anyways, hello. Hope everyone's doing good, and I hope you can hear me okay. Again, my end is freezing. Oh, hmm. So if you can hear me and your screen freezes, always just log out of Facebook or not log out, just get out of Facebook and then come back in. All you have to do. Um, which I'm going to do right now because I want to make sure I get y'all's questions. I don't know, our internet's been weird lately, and we have one of the best ones in Tallahassee, so the internet companies. So I'm not quite sure what the deal is. Almost there. If you're new to the group, this is not a professional deal you got here. We just go with the flow here. Okay, there we go. I think that's working now. Yeah, I think we're good. Okay, so let's talk about a few things first before we get into our project. Have I stitched the project out? No. Why would I want to make my life easy? Um, no, I was having a hard time figuring out what I wanted to do, and finally I just came up with a cute little idea. And we'll talk about that in a minute. I feel like I need to move my chair a little bit this way. All right, I'll sit down now. So, so yeah, we're going to be playing again an IQ Designer today. Eventually we're gonna, I'm gonna start doing some flip-flopping with that. Doing some sewing projects as well as, IQ. I know a lot of you come here for IQ, but I think there's a lot of people, that could benefit from watching some, cute little sewing ideas, right? I do a lot of embroidery and I love it. But my heart has always been, quilting. But what's so great about IQ is I can bring those two worlds together, which I love. So eventually things are going to switch up. But speaking of switching up, I put a poll out there. I know it's been really weird these past few lot of weeks about where I'm actually going to sit doing my lives. And what I mean by that is I tried Wednesday nights. Yeah. I tried Thursday nights. Yeah. Sundays seem to be the best. I think that I'm reaching more people on Sundays than I am during the week. And there is, I can see the reasons why. I can see it plain as day. I was trying to just, make things a little bit easier so I wouldn't have to cancel as much. But I think I've got a good solution for that. So on Sunday nights, starting not this Sunday, but the following Sunday, so next Thursday is gone. Next Sunday, I already forgot the day it is. Is that the 20? No, I can't remember. Anyways, starting then, we're going to be doing 8 p.m. Eastern here. So of course I have to, get where I'm not interfering with anybody else's lives. So hopefully you'll join me in doing that. And that's going to be permanent. I mean, we might as well just say it's going to be permanent. So I tested the waters, just didn't work out. So we're going to jump back to that, but it's going to be 8 p.m., not 5 p.m. That way I have time to do everything, we need to do. What else? Okay. So happening right now is the Sweet Seams Sew Along, and you've seen our post and all of our different baby lock groups, and we're doing this along with the Sewing Loft, who has a great quilt business, meaning she has great designs. Thanks, March 24th. Great quilt designs and all that. And Michelle and Jory over at Sewing Hoopla kind of got this all together, just like we did this one right here. We had a Baby Lock Educator Sew Along. We're doing it again. And I'm finally started working on my blocks last night. So it was, I was able to sit down and watch the last episode of Love is Blind. If you haven't watched it, watch it. And just sew away. It was so nice. So mine is going to be a little bit different because I turned mine into paper piecing. That is something I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to give to you guys because I did not design this design. So, but I will talk about how I did it. But I just want to show you one of the blocks. I made, a few because I'm going to make something really cute out of it. What do I want to show you? They're also stinking cute. I don't know. And we are using Baby Lock Sweet Seams fabric. And did you know you can go to their website and get it? You can also get it through your local Baby Lock dealer. So you have to go get it. It's so pretty. I'll do this one. This one's really cute. Okay, so here is my block, and of course I'm going to turn it into like a little table something. Okay, so ooh, look at the bunny. How cute is that? The fabric's so pretty. I love the fabric. I'll just show you one more that shows up really good on screen. Here we go. Look how cute that is. I love it. So the Sweet Seams fabric again is you can go out to the Baby Lock website and check it out. So it's really pretty. It comes in 1 yard cuts, so make sure to check that out. So I am going to be on the 21st or 22nd. I can't remember the exact date because numbers don't stick in my head. So it will be during the week though. It's not going to be one of our Sunday night lives. And I'm going to show you how I did mine, how I took the design from the Sewing Loft, which is a free design, a free quilt block, and which is, I mean, like I was making it last night going, I wish I would have designed this. I wish I had the brain to design how stinking cute that bunny is. And everybody's making theirs different, just like we did the row houses. I still love my row houses to death. I can't love that anymore. It's just, I mean, I could. I love it. So make sure to check out. I have posts going twice a week here in the group to remind you guys that you want to watch all of us and go to all of our different groups to see what's happening. Okay, check, that one's done. Tomorrow night starts my Dear Jane Sew Along. And that is going to be on Instagram. It'll be on Instagram Live. I know I've gotten a lot of questions. Why am I not doing it here? Because I want to reach everyone, and so I think this is a fun way to reach everyone because this Dear Jane has kind of got a little small following. I want it to have a huge following. And let me show you, I will show you what Dear Jane looks like in the fabrics I picked out, which you can't really tell the fabrics, but you can tell the colors. It's going to be very kind of like 1930s inspired. So this is the quilt. Look at that. Is that not amazing? I mean, there's 200 and something blocks in there, and they're all like 4.5 inches. So this is going to be, I'm going to be doing this for 26 weeks straight, Friday nights. I am making myself, it is my goal to make this quilt. It has been probably for the last 10 years. So we're doing it. What time? It's going to be 8 p.m. Eastern. So each week we're going to talk about a row. I'll do one demonstration on one block. Maybe two, because the blocks are basically, you can do them foundation piecing, you can do them hand piecing, you can do them applique, you can do them however you want. There is a wonderful girl, I'm not sure how old she is, I'm sorry, that she is going to allow me to show you all her blocks that she is doing hand piece. That means she's taken each one of them. She's even sewn the seams and everything together, and it's stunning. And she's been working on it for a while. She posts pictures on Instagram. So that's going to start tomorrow. It's going to be similar to this format that we do right here. The other thing is if I can bring those videos over to Facebook, I will. I know a lot of people don't get on Instagram, that's fine. But I will try. I'm not sure how. I'm not that tech savvy, but maybe I can figure something out. If anything, maybe I can turn it into a YouTube where you can go to a YouTube channel to watch. Dang, that's a good idea. Did I just come up with that? Okay, cool. All right. So I may do that. We'll see. The other thing, the last thing is, last week we made the cutest little bunnies, right? We used IQ Designer and we made some adorable bunnies. And a lot of you actually made the bunnies, and I loved seeing them. And not only did you just make your bunny, you went above and beyond. And I mean, go and scroll through the group. All you actually have to do is click on pictures and you can see everybody's bunnies. And everyone who has a bunny on the group right now or wants to make one, go back and watch the video and post a picture up until Sunday. I'm going to say Sunday about 5 o'clock. That's your cutoff time. Then I will come on a little bit later, maybe about, I don't know. I don't know what time, and announce the winners. I might just make a post. But I think I'm I'm definitely doing a giveaway. I'm not sure how many giveaways I'm giving, but it'll be either 1, 2, or 3. And who doesn't love free giveaways? Everyone loves free giveaways. So get your bunnies ready. And that's what I was trying to find a minute ago is where my bunny was, but no worries. Okay. So that's pretty much one more announcement. I'm so excited about this. I have been talking to a couple people that are big in the quilt world, and they have agreed to come on to our lives. And Sunday the 24th, I think that's correct. We're gonna have Harley from the Graffiti Quilter on, and I will show you really quickly. She is now a Baby Lock ambassador. And let me see if I can just quickly show you what she does. She's amazing, long arm, all that. And she's going to come on. And then after that, we're going to take one of her designs and you can purchase the design and she's going to give you a little discount. And it's just an image. And then we're going to take it into IQ Designer and spice it up. So let me take you out. I think I can find it on Facebook. Let's do Carly Porter. Okay, well, it's Carly Porter Design. I'm sorry. I said, well, she does graffiti quilting, which is so cool. That's her. She's so cute. I'm gonna try oh, here we go. Let's look at some pictures of her designs here. Look at those guys. They're beautiful. So this is edge to edge. You have long arm, but you can bring long arm designs into the embroidery realm, right? Now they may not stitch out perfect, but I mean, it's a deal. But look at that. So she's gonna come on. That is so gorgeous. Give me some thumbs up for that, at least a heart or two. So she's gonna come on and we're going to hang out. And I have another I can't really tell you right now person who I greatly admire and I love her quilts and she does the coolest quilts and I'm in the talks with her coming on too. So I don't want to say anything, but you have to believe, but and then I'm thinking about getting some of our Baby Luck educators back on. I mean, we need to hang out, right? Okay, so I know y'all are ready to see what we're going to do today. Do I have a sample? No, Anna, we don't. Really, this one I was going to do last night, but I could not come up with the right thing to do. And finally at work today, I was like, it popped into my head and I said, this is going to be cute. So I'm calling it our St. Patty's Day Rainbow. All right, let's jump over to I'm going to be working on the Solaris, but let me show you what I'm going to stitch on first. So we're going to create a little rainbow, but we're also going to have a little shamrock in there. It's going to be like a little tiny applique. So you can have applique fabric, but I forgot that I had, this is Embellish foil heat transfer vinyl, and it's a green color. This is one of the ones that Hope came up with. And so I think this is what I'm going to use for my applique, just because I like how shiny it is, and I thought it would be kind of cute. But you can have a piece of fabric, handy. This is the fabric I'm going to use. I'm going to put it on a towel, a tea towel, and I'm going to use this to make a little strip on the bottom. But I've got my tea towel already hooped, which means we are hooping the unhoopable. It is on sticky tearaway. And while I was doing this earlier, I said I need to make an actual video and post here of how I actually do my tea towels, because I mark my tea towels a little differently than everybody else. I know you can see a crosshatch there, but it doesn't start there. So I think I'm going to do y'all eventually, maybe this weekend, pop up and show you how I mark my tea towels and how I hoop them too. And it's not just throwing them on here. I actually mark my stabilizer, blah, 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 because it's hard to get this straight, right? Okay. So this is what I'm stitching on. You can stitch on whatever you feel like. Ask questions as we go through the process. And here we go. Okay, let me get everybody ready here. And again, kind of like last week with the bunny, it's going to the size and everything's going to depend on you. I'm making mine to fit into a 5x7 hoop. If you want it really big, go for it. You're just going to play around. I have no written sizes for this. Okay, well, here we go. I think I'm ready to switch over. What kind of sticky tear what kind of sticky tearaway do I use, Diane? I mean, I've used almost every brand out there. I have two that I really love. I've used the Floriani for years. But I found that I really like the Baby Lock Stick Tear. It tears really nice. I really like that one. So that's what I'm using today. Okay. Here we go. And hopefully this camera just not. I'm gonna jiggle her just a little bit. Okay, there we go. All right, so I am using a wired mouse because that's what I like to work with. The other thing is, let me fix this. I'm sorry, guys. I'm annoying myself because I keep seeing myself frozen in these funny, like, I'm gonna have to show y'all. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, there we go. Now we can see. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to open up iCue and I'm going to show you the design. And you really can't see much of what's going to happen until we really start bringing it over to the embroidery side of the screen. But what I'm going to show you doesn't look stunning yet. Doesn't look like it's really anything until we start playing and manipulating the different stitches and stuff like that. So this is what our base is going to look like. And if you can see, I'm going to click off. So there are some lines for the rainbow. And then I've got a little shamrock out in here, and that is built in. All this stuff is built in. Except for I used a circle to create the rainbow shape. And this guy is built in, and I'll show you exactly where he is, and we'll have a little fun. All right, so I'm just gonna cancel all that, and we're gonna start from the beginning. So if you're on your home screen, what you're going to do is go ahead and select iCue Designer. And I turned on this grid right here because when I was thinking about my my rainbow, like, you know, my little rainbow, I didn't want all the lines of the inch grid mark in there because I wouldn't be able to see. And I'll show you what I mean here. Let's turn the inch on, or the 3/8. So everything gets lost when you're designing. Let's do this. Oh, I could have used the egg. So if I click off, my eye gets really confused with these lines kind of, you know, in the way. And it's just because issues. I have issues. But if you want to use that, please, please do. But what I like is I actually just like the crosshatch. And I'm setting that in the settings. And there we go. So what I did was I selected a circle. So let's start from the beginning. I'm going to leave the circle on here, but I'm going to show you how to grab it. So I've got my crosshairs. I'm then going to go into my shapes key, and I'm just going to select the circle and then select OK. So click OK. I'm canceling. I'm going to select him. And whenever you bring a design on, this is the part you have to be careful about is if the red box is around it, that means it's selected. And if you don't see the red box, it's not selected. So I really have, especially if I have multiple designs on here, it's kind of hard. So you've got to be really careful about clicking off. If you accidentally click off and you need that red box around it, just use the back arrow once, and there you go. Now, the first thing I'm going to do, I am going to click off here, is I'm going to get rid of this bottom half right here. So that's about to go. So what I'm going to do is, if you see down here this little box, the little dash line box, it is highlighted blue. So if it's highlighted blue, that means it's selected. So on your Altair Meridian, it's going to be similar. So you're just going to look for that. And I'm going to come underneath the design. I'm going to click and hold, draw, bring it up as high as I can. I don't want to go too high because I don't want to accidentally get up into here. So I'm going to leave about that much. I'm fine with that. And I'm going to select the scissors. That gets rid of that big bulk. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw the box back around to select her. And I'm going to go to size. This is where I get to play with the shape of my rainbow. So I'm going to select size. And let me know, guys, if that is too bright, you cannot see very well. I will try to figure out what to do. I'm just looking on my screen, and sometimes it looks different on my screen than yours. All right, so I've selected size, and what I'm going to do is start playing with this shape. I don't know if you saw earlier, my rainbow was kind of a little bit more pumped. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know, a little squishier. And because I was trying to fit it into a 5x7 too. At this point right now, when I cut it, it is 3.51 by 6.42. I really don't care about that, but I know that some people love to work by that. So notate your numbers if you want. But I'm going to change the look of this circle, half circle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my unproportional keys, and I'm going to use my squishy key right here. That is a technical term. And I'm just going to bring her down a little bit, I don't know, until I'm happy. And then I'm going to use my other squishy key with the two arrows going inside for that. I don't know what it's called. And I'm just going to kind of shape it to whatever I like. And I can, at this point, I can click off because I only have one design selected. It's when we get to the other design or the other parts of the rainbow, you have to be careful. But this is your main rainbow. This is going to be the one that we are going to build completely off of. Okay, so let's just take a look. I kind of like that shape. That looks good. I like it. It's like, yep. So I'm okay with that. So I am going to draw the line back around it. I'll say okay over here. And guess what we're going to do now? Just in case, we are going to save. This one you can get rid of later, but right now we want to save this first one. So I'm going to select, oh, okay, let me tell you here. If you're on a Solaris or the Brother Like machine, you're going to select memory and then select the machine. If you are on the Altair Meridian or the Brother Like machines, you have a pocket that looks like this, but the arrow is going inside of it. That is your save to whatever memory key. So I'm going to click on that, save to my machine, and there we go. That way, if I mess up horribly, which I do a lot, I at least have this base one saved. All right, so we're going to draw a box back around that one. And we'll go clean up the edges here in a little bit. But I don't want to take all the time to just clean the bottom every single line we go. We can do it all at once. All right, so we are going to duplicate this. So we're going to select our duplicate key, which is this little guy right here. And it always pops off to the side. That is just what it does. So we want to go to the size key, select it, and right down here are your move keys. We're going to hit the center key, and it jets right back on top of the original one. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to, what's the best way to do this? I'm going to start with this. We're going to use our proportionally smaller key, that is the box with the 4 arrows going inside of it, and we're going to change the size. So I'm just going to hold and just kind of take a look at it. And this is where you can use your back button. So I'm going to click off. And if I'm not happy with that, or if I'm happy with that, or whatever, but I want to go back to it, I'm going to click, I'm going to say okay, and click my back button to select it. Now it will take it back to the beginning. Okay, I forgot about that. Okay, but this is where you kind of gotta fill it out. And if you're on a Solaris, I'll show you a trick. So I'm gonna make her a little smaller, and I'm just gonna say visually I'm happy with how far those are apart. Now, what I do notice when I let go of that is that this area right here wasn't long enough to come down, but also it made this, I'm gonna click off and show you, it made this bottom part look wider right here. There we go, right there. So I can play with that, but you can see tip here. There you go. All right, let me show you a special feature on the Solaris that you can use to select. Right down here, and unfortunately this is not on the Meridian or the Altair, but right down here, in this, our blue select tool, we open it up, there's a wand. So if you tap that wand and you just tap that line, it's just going to select that one. To me, that's worth the price of the machine. Besides the thread cutter. I mean, I am obsessed with the threader and the thread cutter. Okay. I got excited there. Sorry. Oh, I'm gonna zoom. I don't know. It's like every episode I get it a little good and then I mess it up. Okay. So what I'm going to do is go back to my size key and I'm going to spread it out a little bit, just a little bit, just a little bit, just a little bit. And then I'm going to stretch it. And the reason why I'm going to stretch it is because I need it to be kind of long. But look what happens. Ooh, we don't like that. So I'm just going to play with it. I can even bring it down and play with it that way. I'm going to click off just so I can see what's going on. But see that right there? It's still, it doesn't look as good as I want. I'm going to try something. Don't do this unless, yeah, okay, so good. It did select it, went back. Okay, so I'm just going to play with it until I'm happy with, oops, I wanted to go, I don't want to go, until I'm happy with the way the shape looks. And you can just tap, 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 play, 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 and click off and look. That's I really want to do a little bit more real quick. So I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to use my back button to select it again and go back to my size key. And even if I just went and tap this guy here, or maybe just move her down a little bit, maybe that'll make her look a little healthier, a little happier. And I am leaving a good amount in between here. And you'll see why we're doing that right now. I mean, it's not going to be what you think. We're not going to put colors in between. We're going to use our lines as our colors, basically. But mine's going to be an all green because I think it'll be super sticky. Okay, so we're going to say okay. And let's say I'm happy with that. So what I'm going to do again is with that one selected, I'm going to select my duplicate key and it makes another one. We're going to go to size. We're going to use our move center key, bring it on top, and then, well, it centers it really. And we're going to start dragging it down. Now, if I click off, look what it looks like. It's all up in this one's business, right? So we need to get it away from that and we need to make it look more like a rainbow. So let's go here. And again, just play, play, play. I'm going to squish her in first. I'm going to give her some squishies. And then I'm going to move her up. And I'm looking at the distance between here and here. I'm going to click off. I'm going to take a look at it. I do not like those sides. I think it needs to squish up a little bit. So I'm going to say, okay, click my back button. And that's how you're going to get away with that, especially if you're on an Altair Meridian or a Destiny. I forgot to say that. You can do this on your Destiny, guys. Okay, so we're going to go to size. We're going to squish her in just a little bit. And in the real scheme of things, it doesn't have to be perfect, and you'll see why later. Okay. So let's pretend I'm happy with that. I'm not super happy, but you know what? I'm going with it. So we're going to do the same thing. I want to do one more line. So, oh, I really want to go fix it. So I'm going to fix it. All right. You guys are so good. Okay. There we go. So now we're going to go and select our duplicate key again. We're going to go to size, center. It's going to bring it exactly in the center. We're going to say, oops, I'm sorry. We're going to use our move keys to move her down. Start moving her down until I want her to be about right there, the bottom one. We're only making 4, and I'm going to squish her in. I might even pull her up a little bit. And this is, again, where you get to play and kind of see. I'm not mad at that. I think that's actually kind of nice. I'm kind of happy with that. Not the dripping rainbow, but that would be kind of cool. We put little drops. Okay, never mind. Another day, Anna. All right, so we're going to say okay. And at this point, I'm going to go and clean up all this stuff hanging below my crosshatch line, my horizontal sideways line. So I'm going to zoom in, and I like to zoom in pretty close. If you're on Altair Meridian and you zoom in, you're going to see your design up in the corner here, and there's a red box. You click on that red box or use your finger to hold that red box around, and you'll zoom around the design. It's going to act just like this. So if you're on a Solaris, you're going to choose the hand. I call it a pan hand. Okay, that's not funny to me. And then I can move it around. Now I'm going to grab my eraser. I like the square, and we're going to erase the line. So here's the thing I like to do is I like to start below the design, come up as far as I'm comfortable. I'm pretty comfortable because I've been doing this a long time. But if you're only comfortable to there, that's fine because you can zoom in even further and really get in there. So I go boop, and then I'm going to come here and go boop. You can even make this as small as basically 0 and tap on each pixel and delete it. It's really cool. All right, so now I'm going to grab my little hand and we're going to move over across the line here, and I'm going to erase those guys. Yeah. Usually I click off. And the reason why, let me show you why I click off. I am going to go and do this. I'm going to start over. I'm playing right. If I went here and went here and went here, got everything and accidentally went whoops like that, when I go back, I have to erase all that again. So if you just kind of do like one line at a time, take a breath, let go, start over on the next one. That way, if you accidentally mess up, you're only going to have to redo that one line. That's just me because I get annoyed easily when I have to redo a lot of things. Okay, I think I'm happy with that. Let's zoom out. Oh, did I miss something? Did I miss one over here too? No, okay. I missed one. Oh, that's so bad. Oh, we're gonna ignore it. Ignore it, Anna. Ignore it. It's gonna look really cute when we're done. And I'm just gonna gingerly go and get that. I think there's, I need to zoom in. There we go. Okay, cool. Now we are done with that. I'm gonna bring it to 100 to center it. And now what I want to do at this point is save it again. So I've got my base. I'm kind of happy with it. She's just going to look all kind of adorable. We're going to call her adorable. So I'm going to go to my memory and I'm going to click on my machine. So that way I have this. We're going to use it again a little bit later just as a guide. So we want to save that. Here's the fun part. This is where you get to decide what each line is going to be. Okay, so we're going to go to our line properties. And remember, you have all these fun little lines to play with. We have a satin stitch, we have running stitch, triple stitch, we have our candle wicking, ooh. We have chain, ooh. We have a blanket stitch, everybody tells me the name of this every time I talk about it and I can never remember it. It's that stitch. When you click on the little flowers and click select, you have some more here to play with, right? But if you have Design Suites and you have a Solaris, you can bring it into the Solaris. And these are the St. Patty's Day design. So there's some cute little shamrocks here, some beer mugs, some lucky horseshoes, some rainbows, and then some other little shamrocks. So I'm going to start by selecting this one and then say okay. I'm going to select a green color. It doesn't, everything's going to be green, but it's all going to be different colors. So I'll start with this one and I'm going to say okay. And this is where I get to decide where it's going to be. In my mind, what I want to happen is decorative stitch, satin stitch, decorative stitch, satin stitch. It'll make sense later. So I am going to tap this line for the shamrock. Oops, what did I forget to do, guys? I forgot to select my bucket. So select your bucket and tap on the line you want it, where you want it to be. Yes, that's really, really light. So just for you guys being able to see it, I think, okay, so we'll use these 3 or 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This one's really dark, but we'll use this one for our shamrock rocks and make sure our bucket's on and let's tap on it. It doesn't look like anything right now, right? That's okay, it will. So the next thing is I told myself that I want this line and this line to be satin stitches. So this one, I get to go decide what I want it to be. And who doesn't love a good candle wicking? All right, so we're going to come back over here to our line properties. We're going to select our candle wick or whichever one you want. This is your baby. And I'm going to select a different green color. So maybe this really dark one here. I am going to make sure my bucket's on and I tap that line. Okay. It's hard to tell, I know, because these 2 colors are really dark. But now what we're going to do is turn both of these lines into satin stitches, but I want them to be different greens. So I'm going to select first line properties, satin, and then I'm going to select this green color. Okay. And it doesn't matter which one I tap. So I'm going to select my bucket and yeah, that's right. So I'll tap this one. You'll see it turn a little green, maybe on your screen. And then we're going to go back to line properties, making sure it's still on there and go to the other green color. Now do this in rainbow, do whatever color you want. This would even just be a cute rainbow. My bucket's on and I'm going to tap this one. Okay. Now, this is where the magic happens because right now it just looks like lines, correct? So what we're going to do is select next. And if you have an Altair Meridian, or sorry, excuse me, if you have a Solaris, you're going to see it in real time, what it looks like. And it may, you know, oh, that's very cute. I'm kind of happy with that. Okay. So this is what it's going to look like. Isn't that cute? So, but I'm going to zoom in so I can take a look at it. And this satin stitch, I think I'm happy with, but I might want to make it a little wider. This one I definitely want to make a little wider. I am concerned about this being so far, and we'll just see what it looks like. Okay. So if we want to adjust these, now let me say something to you Altair Meridian owners. So yours will not show up like this. What you have to do to be able to see it like this is you're going to hit preview OK. Don't hit set. After you go to your preview screen, when you get to your preview screen, you're going to see it's going to look exactly like this. Then you're going to go back, you're going to return to change anything, and then you're going to hit preview to preview it again. With the Solaris, it just comes on real time. So with that being said, you know what? I'm kind of not liking this one, guys. So what I'm going to do is delete this one, and grab my first one because that came out good. So we're going to pretend here like this is the one I did a few moments ago. And I'm going to go grab my first one because I saved it. Remember, we say save and save often. You can delete them later. So it's this one right here. And look how much better this one looks. I love that shape. It kind of is like a, okay. So I think I've already got it all set here. And I'm going to go to next and just take a look. Okay. And this is where, let me zoom in. I had already changed the satin stitch size. And how did I do that? Okay, first what we want to look at is how are we liking these? Oh, but wait, did you see that that's just the regular flower? I want to use my shamrock. We're going to come back to that. So let's look at our candle wicking stitch first. So you can see here that it's on the candle wicking. You have some buttons here that are going to help you make them bigger and space them apart. So first I'm going to space them apart. I like mine a little further apart, and I'm just going to audition it. Again, if you're Altair Meridian, you're going to change it and then hit preview OK. If you hit set after that, you're stuck. So just be very careful of that. I want them to be a little bit more further. Some of my girlfriends are trying to get me to go out tomorrow night. Yeah. Even though I am doing a live tomorrow night, and they're like, come do the live at the restaurant and you can have margaritas. It'll be great. Okay, so I don't think that will work. All right, so here we go. Okay, so I made it a little bigger. I made they almost look like little pom-poms. And I'm spacing them out. And I like them just spaced out a little bit more. But again, this is up to you, boo. All right, there we go. And notice it does plop down a little bit. So if we wanted, we could jump back over to the other screen. And if you have the magic wand, we could bring that up. I mean, you might just have that. It's probably going to happen. Will it drive me crazy? Probably. So if I click return right now and I can select this little guy, I'm going to tap on him or tap on the outside one. And I think I'm going to raise him up just a little bit. Let's see what happens. Okay. If I raise him up a little bit. Okay, that looks better. I think, yeah, that's fine. Okay, so now I have fixed this to my liking. I think that's really cute. I like it. They're a little bit more pom-pommy and they're separated. So next, what I'm going to do is use my arrow here, and I'll go to the next one, which is my satin stitch. Now, let's go back to what it will come in as. This is what its default is going to sit at. Like that. So I wanted it to be a little more fluffy. So I'm going to use my size key or the width key of my zigzag and just put it up. I don't know what I'm going to choose. This is the highest. If I go the highest, it may run into the other line. So let's take a look. But I don't like it that big. I mean, not bad, but let's do it at 200. I mean, 0.2. Okay, I'm happy with that. So let's say I'm happy with that. So next is this guy. So if you select something over here, but you want to change it, what we're going to do is arrow over so it selects it. And if you tap on it, it takes you to your line property. So I'm going to go into my fancy ones and then go to my custom ones. and select my shamrocks and okay, okay, and it will put the shamrocks in place of those little flowers. So that's how you can change from this screen. But I want you to notice they're upside down. What do I do? Okay, well, we've got this key right here. And we're going to tell it to flip. Okay. Perfect. I'm happy with that. And honestly, on the next little guy right here, I am just going to make him just a tiny bit wider. Just a tiny bit. I don't like that real tight satin. And it might pull a little bit, especially on the fabric or the towel material. So cute. All right, I'm happy with that. Now, just in case I'm going to hit memory, I can go back and delete it later if I want. That's just going to save a final copy of that. Now, if you're done and you are happy, you can hit set OK. You Altair and Meridian owners, Destiny 2 as well, you're going to select preview OK, look at it, set OK. Ta-da! All right. So now what we're going to do next is we're going to select add. And we're going to select IQ Designer again. And then we're going to go and recall that shape. But we're going to turn the shape off. We're just going to use it as a boundary. What do I mean? You'll see. So since I was using, oh, well, this is the one I just saved. So I'm going to grab him, say OK. And then what I'm going to do is go to my line properties. We're going to select no sew. This is one of my favorite properties. I use it all the time. So no sew. I'm going to say OK. And then let's zoom in. I'm going to select the bucket and I'm going to take my finger and tap every line. Now you're going to see on your screen that if you were to zoom in, it looks just like a dark gray. It doesn't look black anymore. That means you have changed it to not stitch out. It's just a line. It's just a boundary. Because when I go to my shapes key and I look through my shapes and see what I want to put there, in my open shapes, I have a little shamrock. So we're going to tap on him and say, okay. And of course, it's going to come in ginormous. So what we need to do is shrink that down. So look, it's selected with the red box. So I'm going to click size and I'm going to use my proportionally smaller key. And I'm just going to get it to where it looks good to me. And I'm going to move it up so I can see it where I want it, because I want it to be right here. Now you could do a cute little pot of gold or a horseshoe or a leprechaun or whatever you find in there. Do whatever you want. And see, that's really tiny. That's just about a 1. So I'm going to just go to about 1.25. It can be kind of big. I'm okay with it. So here's the thing now. Since I brought it in and I had changed these to no sew, these two are now no sew. So what I need to do is give it some line properties. So I'm going to come over to my line properties. The first one I'm going to stitch is this running stitch. It's going to be a placement stitch for my applique that I'm going to make. So I'm going to select green. Remember which green you chose. So I selected this one next to the light green. I'm going to say okay. I'm going to take my bucket and I'm going to tap on the shamrock. Now, probably hard to see, but he did turn green. The next thing I want to do is change the stem, but I don't want it to be just a straight line. I am a sucker for the chain stitch. So I'm going to select the chain stitch, make sure that same green is selected, and then go to OK. Bucket is on. So we're going to tap the stem. And when I go to the next or the next edit screen, you're going to see what that stem looks like. But first, I'm going to save the memory because I don't want to lose the size of that. If I were to move on and try to go back and resize that and didn't look at my size key, you're going to have fun. So let's go to next. See? And did you see that outline disappear? Because it was just a boundary for this guy right here. I wanted to make sure he fit perfectly where I wanted them to fit. So what we have, this is my little chain stitch that is going to be his stem. And then this is the outline. We're going to call this the placement line. This line is going to lay, or we're going to put our material on top of this for our applique. So if I was happy with that, then I would move on. But I want to look at my chain stitch a little bit. I'm going to arrow over till it shows me my chain stitch. And maybe I want to make it a little tighter. I don't know yet. I haven't played with that yet. So let's see. Oh, kind of cute. And then I can make it a little thicker, not much, but a little thicker, which you probably cannot tell here. And I am okay with that touching right there. It will eventually get covered with our finishing stitch, but okay. You can, candle wicking would be darling right there. So again, just do it. Did I save it? If I didn't, if I forget, I will double save it just in case. All right, so we're going to select set. Okay, again, Altair, Meridian, Destiny. You're going to hit preview. Okay, set. Okay. And it's going to drop it right where I want it, right here. Now, could I right now go and turn it and put it in? Yeah, you can, but the next part you're going to bring over, you're going to have to turn it and all that. Okay, so we're going to go to add. We're almost there, guys. We're going to go to IQ Designer. We're going to recall. And I don't think I told y'all, recall is the pocket with the arrow going outside of it. Now remember, mine is slow because I have 5 million different things saved on here. I'll go to the last one saved, because I know that's the safest one. I'm going to say okay. Now these lines are still no-sew. But our shamrock in the center there is a running stitch. We told it to be a running stitch earlier and we saved it that way. But the stem, I don't want to stitch out again. I'm just going to use this as our tack down. So what I'm going to do is I am going to select line properties, no-sew again, okay, and just tap the stem. Now, what did I forget to do? Fuck it. Now, could you go in there and erase it? Yeah, but this is quicker and it's a lot harder to get up in there. So I tried it earlier and I was really mad at myself. So, not really. So I'm just going to tell that not to stitch out. I'm going to go to next because I want it to stay that running stitch because it's going to be basically my tack down stitch. It's going to hold my fabric in place. So I'm going to hit set, okay, and it's going to sit directly on top of the first one. So it's sitting right on top here. One more step, and I promise we're done. We're going to go to add, IQ Designer. We're going to recall again. We're going to recall that last shape one more time because we want to do a finishing stitch on it now. So that means your last stitch. Is it going to be a satin stitch? Is it going to be candle wicking? Is it going to be blanket? You want to do the chain stitch around it? It's up to you. So I'm still kind of debating up to the very moment. So I will zoom in. Again, I'm going to quote unquote turn off that stem by using no sew. Make sure my bucket's on and then tap. And I haven't looked over here I'm sorry. I am so sorry. I have not looked at questions. So Melody, couldn't we have drawn the box again and then press cut? Yeah. Oh, when you're doing that, yeah, you can absolutely. If you want, when you're erasing, you can use that box however you want. Absolutely. I like to go in because I'm scared to get really close with that. But yeah, absolutely. You could, yeah. So, and Diane's correct too. So you've got options. We like options. Let me get out of my weird sitting position here. All right, so I want to turn this into a finishing stitch. So I'm going to go over to my line properties. I almost want to do the blanket, but I don't think that's going to be good for this. That looks gold when I look at it here. So I either need to do a satin or maybe a chain. Let's do the chain. Chain. I'm going to select a green. I think I'm going to select this green. I'm going to say okay. I'm going to turn on my bucket and I'm going to tap it. Okay, we're going to select next. Again, since I am on the Solaris, it will show me real time what it's going to look like. Ugh. Let me make it smaller. Hold on, hold your horses, because that's ugly. I'm sorry, I do not like that. So I'm going to click up here and change it. I don't want to do boring satin, but I think with what I'm using, the satin's going to be the best. And we'll zoom in. Again, if you're Altair Meridian, remember that you're going to have to hit preview first. Okay, so that's going to be my satin. Now, this guy is really, really, really tiny. So if I try to make the satin stitch too much wider, it's going to look good. So I'm just going to go up one. Basically, one click. And that's fine. I'm happy with that. I can deal with that. I don't like it on the original setting because it doesn't seem to catch everything like your fabric or anything like that. If it's a big design, I do a big, thick, wide one because I think it looks. All right, so we're going to say, I'm happy with that. I'm going to select set, okay. Again, Altair, Meridian, Destiny. You're going to hit preview, okay. Set, okay. And guess what? She's done. And I'm going to save the actual embroidery to my machine in case I end up liking it and actually, you know, wanting to stitch it out again. I think it's adorable. But again, this may not be your taste. And again, this would be really cute to make rainbows for, you know, little girls or little boys who like rainbows. So, you know, play with it. It doesn't have to be green. We just happen to be in St. Patty's Day. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide my hoop on. And let me show you how I have mine hooped. I actually, because it is, I think it's too wide this way. So it's better to hoop it sideways, I guess you could call that. So this is the bottom here. These are the sides on the side. So I'm just going to slip that right in and change to a larger. Oh, let me show you guys this. Okay. So it says, Anna, that's not going to work. And I'm going to say, oh my goodness, but I thought I could work in the 5x7 area. Well, this is what we need to do. We need to go to layout, rotate 90 degrees. And then what am I at? Am I still too big? No, oh, I'm going to center it. Aha. So when I rotated it, it took it out of center. I see this question asked all the time on groups. It says it's too big. It's not too big. A lot of times it's not centered if you've moved it or anything like that, or even rotated it. So, let me return and go back. Okay. So again, what I did is I went to layout, rotate 90 degrees, whichever way it's going to stitch. I know my bottom is over here. So, but it's way too high. And how do I know that? Because up here it shows me what hoops it's going to fit in. So that is your largest hoop. That is your 10, for this machine, 10 5/8 by 10 5/8. The next one down would be 5x7. And it shows the hoops that come with the machine. Okay, just think of it that way. So I'm going to push the center button and watch what happens. A little 5x7 pops up. Now it's going to work. So I'm going to go, okay, I'm going to slide it on. And then I want to center my design because you can see but we look there, my needle's a little off. So this is a little fun thing that you have. I think I can't remember if the new Altair and Meridian have these or not. If not, you can buy a special clip for it. So I'm going to select this W. And what it does is it puts this one puts down a little crosshair for me. So you can barely see it right there. And I'm going to select move on the screen, and I'm going to use my arrows to move. Now the other machines, it's just a dot. I'm gonna move that down until it gets right there. Boom. What? This machine makes me look so good. I can't even with this machine. So, and my Meridian too. Don't remember, I have the Meridian and I love that little girl. I just have a hard time moving these things around. When my new room's set up though, they're going to be set up where I can jump around to each one. So excited about that. Okay. So our first color, and sorry I'm moving back and forth, but this is the best way to show you. Our first color is going to be candle wicking, right? So I've got a bunch of greens. They may not all match. This may not be pretty. I'm really kind of dreading the greens. But well, let's try it out. Let's just try it. So I'm going to start with this kind of a little bit olivey, whatever. I'm going to go ahead and slide it on. Thread my machine. I have to turn that off. I'm going to. Oh, I love threading this machine. Okay. So now the first thing that's going to stitch out is the candle wicking. So let's go for it. So this is probably going to be what? The bobbin threads? Oh, I forgot to put the bobbin in. Details. I'm like, wait, there's a full bobbin. I just totally like wound a bobbin. Guys, your machine won't work if your bobbin's not in, right? Just, you know. All right, so let's slip our little guy in there real quick. And remember, when you put the bobbin in on the baby lock machines where you do a drop-in bobbin, you always want the thread. If you pull it, it pulls to your right, but if you drag it over, it's to the left. So always have it coming off to the left. And I don't mean like this, turned around and down on the left. So see that? You want it to be hanging over on the left. I promise you it matters. And don't ever, 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 I'll haunt you, ever you reuse pre-wound bobbins. They are not, baby lock bobbins are perfectly weighted and sized for your machine. And also, let's go here. Okay, now it's going to work. The pre-wound bobbins are great, but you also got to think about of course they're mass produced, so the plastic might be a little more chintzy, and it's, I mean, it's fine if you're using them one time, but I wouldn't use it. I know a lot of people do, and I get in trouble every time I say that, but honestly, I spent a lot of money on my machine, and I'd rather keep my machine happy than putting a 10-cent bobbin in that's going to bust in my machine and cause all kind of problems. So 10 cents or possibly $300 at my dealership, and parts, and I don't know if it's 300, I'm just saying parts, and she's got to be away from me for at least a week to 2 weeks. So although our place here in town is amazing. They're really good. Hey, Ernestine, haven't seen you in a while. Thanks, Diane. All right, so it's doing the little candle wicking first, and yes, the rainbow's headed the other way, but that's okay. The color's pretty. I like that. I have a Kelly green mixed in, and I don't think that's gonna work. So let me see if I can find something else real quick while that's stitching. Right. too hard. Yeah. Even you do. I think I'm gonna go for more of like a muted kind of what do they call that? They call that now like neutrals or whatever. We're just gonna try it out and see. But then it won't match my, so I don't have to use that. I can use something different. All right, so the next part is the one of the satin stitches. So remember, I cut and pull out this way, same story. You want your machine to be happy. I know it's a little, a lot of people don't like to waste thread. There are ways to get it out without ripping it back, but I never do it that way. What am I gonna put next? Want to do a little lighter? Yeah, let's do a little lighter on that. I really don't know how all these greens are gonna look together, but we'll see. Also, if you're doing a tea towel, make sure that everything's nothing's under the coop. So, okay, so here we go. We go satin stitches. Here we go. So this is the little bit thicker one. I like that green. Cool. And this is really a good way to play with your different decorative stitches. The new stitches, if you have, so again, if you're using design suites, it only will physically go into the Solaris. However, if you have palette, you can do the exact same thing. You can bring any of those design suite designs in palette, do the exact same thing that I did. Heidi. So remember, okay, well, for those of y'all who are just joining on, I made a big announcement. I'm going back to Sundays, and it'll be Sunday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern. And I'll make an announcement, don't worry. Ooh, I like that green. I don't use a lot of greens. I hardly ever use red because who doesn't like red? Anna doesn't like red, but the greens I don't use as much as I should. They're really pretty. I'm really wanting to build a big yellow. I'm starting to get into yellow a lot. I don't know why. It's striking me as really pretty. All right, so I'm gonna think about my next color. I don't know. Oh, which one did I do? I think I did that one. Need to get out of the way here. Oh. Okay, so cute. She's looking good. Now, where I marked it, that is a heat away pen. So I will just use the tip of my iron to go in. Speaking of that, I need to warm my iron up for this my application. So what's next? We'll just go this color. There might not be a huge difference, but it'll make it. But you know what this, if you did this, would be really pretty in is literally, let me actually show you a fabric line I got from Ashley. Actually, she built me a little bundle, and it's these really cute, like muted colors. So, gonna make a quilt for my niece who's having a little girl, and these colors are kind of what she likes. So, have Ashley kind of make me up something if I can find them. Ashley was so good at picking fabric for me. Well, I don't see it, but I have something very similar. I'll show it to you. Look at my shamrock stitching out. So over there, I'm just gonna bring this here. So kind of like these colors for like a little girl's room, you could make a really big rainbow and something like these. That would be really, really pretty. So just kind of a neutrally, they call these neutrals, believe it or not. I think they're just softer muted colors. Um, this bundle's beautiful. I forgot I bought this. See, what I did last Sunday, y'all, is I stayed in my room and I reorganized all my fabric. I've got a bunch to give to one of the schools or my old high school. They have some programs there that they sew. And I found so many things I forgot I had. I'm like, oh, more fabric. Where did this come from? Oh, it's been hiding. Oh my gosh, look at my little shamrock. Oh, they're so cute. Okay, last little rainbow bow. So the rain. All that out of the way. Okay, so one last color. I have this kind of olive. These aren't looking too bad together. I really could have thought this out. Thanks, Heidi. I'm sitting here going, I don't know how these are gonna look, but okay. So I got confirmation they're looking okay, so that's good. And this one's kind of an olivey. I didn't want to go traditional Kelly, but you totally do whatever you want. This is your baby. All right, so here we go. I'm kind of loving how this is stitching out. Oh my God. I surprise myself a lot, and I kind of hope you feel that way too. You get excited about what you've designed, and you know, even if it's just super simple like this, or something super extravagant, it always makes you feel good when you're like, I did that. You know, I surprise myself a lot. Much green to work with. Now, since I have a heat transfer vinyl foil, well, it's all in one. What we're gonna do is, you know, we'll do the placement stitch, we'll lay it on top, let the tack down, stitch it down, but I'm going to press it before the final stitch. And I'm not gonna do that on camera, but what you want to do with heat transfer vinyl is you want to have something, if it does not have a carrier sheet, and that's basically something on top of it. Does not have a carrier sheet? I can't. I know that. Give me just a sec. Some of them have carrier sheets. That's basically the one on top. And give me just a split second. And I haven't played with this one. Yeah, this one has a carrier sheet. Let me show you what that is. So right here, that's your carrier sheet, right? Okay. So you want to take that off, but hold on to it because when you go over to your iron, you have to have something on top of it or this stuff will stick to your iron. Look how pretty that is. Okay. It's going to be beautiful. All right. So I'm going to switch to the color I want to finish up my shamrock in. Got a cute little shamrock coming. Which? Oh, we'll just do this. This is coming out way cuter than I was going to. So, or than I expect. You always have a picture in your head. If I have time tomorrow, I get to decorate work. Okay, so first one's going to be my placement stitch, but also my little chain stem. So it's going to be pretty tiny. A little bigger than I thought. Okay. Now the running stitch and I always goes around twice. If you don't want it to, you stop it. You can't change it. All right, so now I'm going to take, oh, it's going to do its running. I mean, the zigzag, or no, chain. Whatever it's called. I thought I had green glitter, heat transfer vinyl, but it was teal. So this, I found that I still had some of this because that's what we did with when I was with Hope. We were some of the first ones out there teaching around the country vinyl work. And that means we would use it in our sewing. And so, yeah, shoot my horn there. Okay, so I took off the carrier sheet. It's going to be roly-poly. But what I'm going to do is just going to lay it flat. You can tape it down, but I think, girl, really, I think what I'm going to do is stand up and hold it in place. Now, if you're new to embroidery, don't, please. All right. I know how my machine's going to work and what it's going to do. I'm very used to it. So I know where my boundaries are, but just be very careful when using your hands. Look how pretty that is already. Oh my goodness. Sorry, guys. Yeah. Can't see it very well. And I'm going to grab a pair of, these are my Famor appliques. Or well, they're not really appliques. I don't know what they're called, but they're really good for these tiny areas. So they have this little hook on the end. So sometimes with this, you can rip it away, but yeah, not this one. This one you can rip away. It's made differently. So I'm just going to trim. And I may have to. My arms may get all up in the way there, and I'm sorry. I'm going to move the camera back a little so I can start turning her around. I might do. It's come in from different angles. But it's so shiny. She's so pretty. Pretty girl. Grab that, move it out the way. I like to pull up any kind of material or any of my applique material. Just pull it out of the way. You actually get a lot closer when you do that. Just give it a little snippy snips. And then, you know what, I'll skip that part because I forgot to warm up my iron. Look at that chain stitch. Oh my God. So I'll just press it afterwards. So it's almost done. She's so cute. Little girl. That's out of your view. So let's get it in your view. And there's a little piece. Oh, perfect. So if we take a look at it so far, there she is. Okay, so I'm gonna put it on for the last satin stitch, and then it's done. I'm gonna put slipper back in there. Put that out of the way. Sorry for my arm being away. And here we go. I can hold it. Not very well. Ew, I see some pokies already. Oh, that's all right. Isn't the shiny pretty? Again, that's embellished HTV foil. It's the only foil at the time when I worked with Embellish. I don't know if anybody else is doing it, that combined foil and HTV. What you used to have to do is cut the glue part, and it's like a clear heat transfer, and then put foil on top of it and then heat it and do all this stuff. This is the first one that came out that is all in one. It's really cool. I don't explain it very well, but it's really, really cool. Look how pretty, guys. Oh, love it to death. And this gives your appliques a little bit of a different look. Another fun one is glitter vinyl. Get some glitter vinyl. You will love it. It's so fun to applique with. Can you wash it? Heck yeah, you can. So what I'm going to do is with heat transfer vinyl, there's basically an adhesive on the back. So I'll of course cover it up with like Teflon or something like that and press it for about 10 seconds. Let it cool off and it should be good to go. But yeah, heat transfer is just like what's on my shirt. And I'll show you. Okay, so let's take it out and then let's go back to me. And then I'll show you guys where's my we'll kind of take it apart, or we'll take it out of it. All right. Okay, so this is that bundle I was showing you. So to do it like a rainbow in those colors would be so pretty. Okay, so here's the Ian. Girl, you're so cute. And see the shiny? Ooh, wow, it's almost like a mirror. Isn't that pretty? Oh, wait, let me get it here. I love it. I love how wonky it is, but also how, all the stitches and it's really fun. And the color here doesn't look like the color to me or what it looks like here, but I do love it. So we're going to pop it out of the hoop. Watch Anna pop it out of the hoop. I never pull, ever. You're pulling on stitches when you do that. So if you flip your hoop over, you can kind of gently pull that fabric away. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take our finger and start pushing. It's supposed to stay in the hoop, but what you're going to do is push through. And you can do that in the hoop or out of the hoop. So, yeah. But if it falls out of the hoop, let me show you how to tear it away. So you're going to start here. Don't start yanking. Please don't yank. So you're just going to follow along. You can take and put your fingers on some of the stitches, kind of hold it in place. This is a terrible way to show you because you can't see what I'm doing. But let's pretend like I took all that off. There she is. Oh my gosh, it's pretty darn cute. So I would fold it in. Fold it in. I definitely can't use this fabric. It will not look good with that. So I'll have to find something that matches it. When you go to press this, please guys, except for this part right here with the vinyl, because you do want to take something like a Teflon sheet. You could take its original carrier sheet, but I would also put a Teflon over it because you've got embroidery thread. You're going to put it on top, press it for about 10 seconds on a pretty warm iron, a hot iron. But if you're going to wash this and repress, do it from the wrong side. You don't want to put an iron on top of embroidery thread. Yes, we use polyester now. It doesn't scorch, but it can dull. So if you use rayon melts. So, okay, there you go. Well, happy St. Patty's Day to all of y'all who are Irish. I think I'm a little bit, but not a lot. I'm more Scottish, apparently, than English and something else. I don't know. I'm a mutt. All right. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. I love how, it looks like a 3-year-old did it. And I kind of love that. I kind of love how the rainbow looks. So, all right. So again, tomorrow night, if you're on Instagram, I will at 8 p.m. a live will start, and it starts in let me show you guys where you're going to be able to find it. Let me pull up Instagram real quick. Okay, if you're new to Instagram, I'm going to show you where the lives start. They don't start on my page. So let's pretend that, there's Gloria Horn is live right now. So let me show you. So if you're looking at Instagram, I know there's a glare. So Instagram, up at the top, you have these little light. I know Gloria's on. Y'all know I love Gloria. So you have these little guys up here. And if you follow me, the live will be right here and you'll see a little red dot. So we will just tap on it. And there's Gloria and she's live right now. So that's how it's going to be. And then I'll save it to my page, to my Instagram page. So yeah, but Instagram, the reason why I like it is because I get to really see different people out there and see what they're doing and connect. And I have made a lot of friends just from Instagram, a lot of quilty friends, a lot of embroidery friends, a lot of sewy friends. So because I only follow them, that's all oh, and miniatures. I follow miniature people, but that's all I follow. So anyways, regardless. All right. And our new time starting on the 24th will be Sundays, 8 p.m. Eastern. That day we're going to have a very special guest. So excited. And it'll be guest/demo. So I hope you guys will show up for that. And if you make your shamrocks, your shamrock rainbow, your St. Patty rainbow, go ahead and post it up. I'd love to see it. But remember, we're having our giveaway for our bunnies. So post a picture of your bunny. And then I'll come on I'll either do it in a regular post or I'll jump on real quick on Sunday and announce the winner. All right, everyone. I'm going to tear this all away. So I hope you guys have a great weekend coming up, and I'll see y'all a little over a week. All right, everyone. Have a good one. Thanks for joining me. Bye.